we would also lower the voting age to 16 because we believe that young people do have a voice, especially in stuff that will affect them in future, such as university tuition. We would prioritise urgent measures to tackle climate change and coal power with subsidies to fossil fuels, with investment into rich renewable energy technology, as we think that situations such as climate change are becoming a bigger problem as we develop as a country. In terms of energy, Green Party actually want to end the monopoly of the big 6 energy companies by building a more democratic and giving locally owned alternatives to energy. Now we would have a ratification referendum, meaning that there would be an option to remain. And if we did have Brexit, then we would fight for the deal to include retention of freedom of movement.
Well, in terms of dementia care, for those who don't know what the dementia care is you can need the assistance of a care home or care at your own house, or not really residential care. You would have to pay a bill, right? They would try and increase the amount of money you would have to pay for them bills, the care bills, but then again, those who have long-term cause illness such as cancer and other illnesses that would be like motor degenerative, they don't really have to pay bills of any sort because they'll be getting free NHS care. We would include a cap on the total contribution people would be asked to pay for social care bills, meaning that we are proposing the right funding model for social care. We will make sure nobody has to sell their property in order to pay these bills, and we would also make sure that there is an absolute limit on what people need to pay. And you will never have to go over the amount of £100,000 because people at these ages, they might have other children. They need this money for inheritance or any other uses of theirs. We would not like to pry on the privacy of people. So we don't have a definitive defence policy or policies. We would like to continue our funding on to Trident. The Conservatives believe that we should leave the single market and customs union, as well as seeking a deep and meaningful relationship with the EU. We would also like to reduce the net migration to tens of thousands instead of the 100,000s as it is currently.
UKIP here, we would increase the social care funding by 5.2 billion between now and 2020 if we are elected. We would also get more people into the healthcare profession to, as I said before, 20,000 more nurses, 3,000 more midwives, 8,000 more GPs. And also we would scrap the bedroom tax, so we feel that can unfairly target people, discriminate against people of lower socioeconomic backgrounds. We also crack down on benefits fraud, as it is draining money from that our government needs, and that could be put into the NHS and social care. So all of these old parties, they push green energy policies, which are only making energy more expensive and unreliable. We would support renewable energy on where it can deliver electricity at competitive prices, and we would support fracking. As for defence, we would also guarantee jobs to ex-servicemen and women, and we would also cut the overseas aid budget, so scrap the Human Rights Act as made by the EU, so we can write our own one, which we also have a zero tolerance policy of forced marriages, FGM and honour killing. People coming in from the country are assessed on their abilities and what they can contribute to the economy. We would introduce one similar to that here. So immigrants coming in from the EU will not be prioritised over those from non-EU countries. Require all visitors and new immigrants to the UK to have their own health insurance, as if they don't, then this can put a strain on the NHS. And as we can see, and as we all know already, the NHS is in crisis. The huge influx of migrants is putting a strain on our country's infrastructure. So our policies here would try and regulate that, not completely shut down our borders, but take back control.
Want to invest £6 billion every year in the NHS. Unlike the others where they're not really saying where this money is coming from. We're going to be raising the income tax, but only by 1 penny for every pound you pay. This extra £6 billion every year could really make a big difference. We would ban fracking and caged hens. We would start a scheme to restore lakes, rivers and wetlands. So the Liberal Democrats agree that the public have made a choice about leaving the EU, but we want to have another referendum concerning whether the UK accept or deny the final terms that are negotiated with the EU. We want the same rights for UK citizens in EU countries as those who are living in the UK.
Although we will be renewing Trident, we do think that nuclear weapons aren't going to protect us against terrorist attacks. That needs to be focused on things like what Labour is proposing, which is things more focusing on the police and focusing on a stricter policing policy that will ensure that no attack happens like this again, rather than focusing on broader things which are more aimed at directly at countries rather than at particular organisations like ISIS. We think that because it's a democracy, we have decided to leave the EU, and that is what the country wants, and that is what's best for the country, because the country has decided it. We will ensure that we secure all rights for EU nationals that are currently living here in the UK, because it's not okay to deport people who are currently living here.